Top of the morning. When I snap my fingers, you'll feel rested and refreshed. How do you feel?
How do you feel?
It's the opposite of rested and refreshed.
We lost
That's what I like about, beating around the bush.
everything?
Give you 3 guesses.
Sorry.
Yeah, easy come, easy go.
Want something to eat? I have those sweet rolls.
No, I knew you would. As I was coming up the stairs, I said to myself, I'll bet she has those sweet rolls.
We'll run the water. We'll take a warm bath first.
Like I always do.
Yes.
And you'll scrub my back like you always do.
Yes.
And then I'll go to bed and you'll cradle me.
Yes. You'll be all right. Think of the other times. Okay, would you please stop that? Stop it!
Sorry.
I'll run the water.
Come unto me, all ye who labor and are burdened, and I shall refresh thee. You never saw anything like it. I went to the Sands first. I was out $500 in 10 minutes. From the Sands, I went to the Riviera. Lost 7 straight bets.
Why talk about it?
From the Riviera to the Tropicana. Started betting the don't side. An old lady with purple hair, 3 huge diamond rings, and a face that looked like death makes 5 passes in a row. After each pass, she looked at me and cackled.
Missed you.
On to the dunes. $300 left. I bet it all on one roll. Lost. The $3,600 so painfully accumulated was gone. So I'm not through. I'm not through. My cash was gone, but I was not without assets. The watch you gave me for Christmas last year, I sold it to a bathroom attendant for $10. I then lost the $10.
I don't want to hear anymore.
Well, but I'm covering the best part about my car.
You sold the car?
For $200.
But it's worth 3 times that. And the watch.
Not at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What are you going to do without a car? And
I'm not through.
Watch.
Will
do you know
let
how much
me
I paid
finish?
for that watch?
Will you let me finish?
I thought that watch meant something to you.
It does.
Then how could you throw it away?
I didn't throw it away. Voila.
You said you sold it for $10.
And I bought it back for 25.
I don't understand.
Sit down.
Where did you get
Sit down. Sit down. Ready?
For what?
I won. I'm a winner, a big winner.
Whoa. What do you mean?
I mean, I took the 200 I got for the car. I went to the Sahara and I started the hottest hand you ever saw.
You won.
I murdered them.
How much?
A fortune.
Where is it?
Here, and here, and here, and here. Have you ever seen a more beautiful sight?
How much?
22 grand. Give or take 100.
I don't believe it.
Count it.
I mean, I don't believe any of this.
Touch it and see. It won't bite. Go on. Believe it now?
No.
Yeah, just between us, neither do I. Pass after pass, 4s, 10s, hardwood. Everything I bet came up. The crowd was 5 deep and all betting with me. For each pass, there was a roar. I just shook the casino. They kept changing stickmen, trying to slow the action. The crowd booed. I bet the 11, 50 for me, 10 for the boys. Boom, boom. I hit it twice in a row, so they changed the boxman. I make the same bet. Boom, I hit it again. It was like a dream. I kept expecting you to shake me and say, wake up, just pass after pass after pass. And then something funny happened. I started to get bored, uncomfortable. My legs began to hurt. My arm felt tired. I wanted to quit, but the crowd wouldn't let me. There was an old guy, he had tears in his eyes. He said if I quit, I'd be signing his death warrant. I wonder what that was about. Anyways, I just kept shooting. I started making crazy bets, the field, anything. The wilder I bet, the more I won. The more I won, the more uneasy I became. Finally, I couldn't stand it anymore. I cashed out. They handed me $22,000, and I never feel worse in my life. Ask me why.
Why?
Why do you think?
I have no idea.
I'll give you a clue. I start to walk home. The closer I get, the worse I feel. A block from here, I became dizzy. I felt so faint I had to stop. I sat on the curb. Care to take a stab at it?
Blood pressure?
Guess again.
I'm stumped.
I'll give you a second clue. Where was I?
Sitting on the curb.
Right. There was a stream floating in the gutter from a lawn sprinkler up the block. It floated right underneath my legs. I reached for my handkerchief to mop my forehead. I pulled out $100 bill along with it. I fold that $100 bill into a little boat, like when you're kids. I put the bill into the street, and I watch it float down the stream until it comes to a sewer and disappears.
I've got it now. You're crazy.
I thought of all the hungry children around the world. I tried to feel guilty, but I couldn't. The fact was that floating that $100 down the drain had cheered me enormously. A thought occurred. If throwing away $100 had made me feel that good, how would I feel if I throw the whole $22,000 away? And believe it or not, for one instance, I was seriously tempted to do it. Ask me why. Ask me why.
Why?
Because I knew if I didn't get rid of that money, I'd have to leave you. And the prospect of that made me very sad. Shall I go on? So there I was at 40,000 feet on the horns of a painful dilemma. The lady or the dough? The lady, attractive, loyal, generous, sexy, and a good cook. The dough, 22,000 in 20s, 50s, and 100s. What to do? My head was close to bursting. The sun was coming up. Something had to give. And then, presto, an inspiration. Why the lady or the money? Why couldn't I have both? All it required was the courage to march in here and say, I love you. I said, I love you. Sorry, folks, there seems to be a breakdown in the audio portion of our program.
Let's go to bed. We'll talk in the morning.
It is the morning.
You've been drinking.
Voila.
You're all keyed up now. Later, you're not even going to remember what you said.
Well, give me a piece of paper. I'll put it in writing.
Don't.
Look, I'm making jokes because I'm scared, but I've never been more serious in my life. Well, what do you say?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, why not?
I just don't.
Well, this isn't going how it's supposed to. When I say I love you, that's your cue to leap into my arms, smother me with kisses, declare eternal devotion.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you know. Let's just take it from the top. I love you. I love you. Look, sister, do you want this part or don't you?
I'm not sure.
What?
I'm really confused. Please, can't we just go to bed now and talk later?
Look, I know it's a lot to spring on you.
Then why do it?
Because I love you.
Will you please stop saying that?
I can't help myself. It's habit forming. I love you. I love you. I love you. Comes in all styles. What's your pleasure?
My pleasure is that this conversation or whatever it is should stop.
Maybe you prefer one of our foreign models. Je t'aime. Yo te amo. Ish libidich. Say it.
Say what?
I love you.
I will not. You just keep away. Did it?
If you don't say it, I'm going to open the window and tell everyone you're my snoogie oogie boo.
Did it ever occur to you that this great love that you suddenly feel might not be mutual?
The great love I feel is not sudden. I have long felt it, but never had the courage to acknowledge it before. And if it isn't mutual, then you're the greatest actress in the world. You look beautiful this morning.
What about our agreement? No strings, no obligations.
It expired long ago.
Not as far as I'm concerned.
The next thing you'll be telling me is you're still waiting for Thomas Lockwood to come riding up on his white Cadillac.
Maybe I am.
Oh, get off it.
You think I'd settle for a piano player if I could get someone like him?
I do.
Well, give me the chance and we'll see.
You had the chance.
What do you mean?
2 years ago, he asked for your hand and you turned him down in favor of yours truly.
How did you know that?
Well, I didn't until just right now, but I always suspected it.
That is the cruelest, lousiest, filthiest thing anyone's ever done to me.
Get dressed.
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 Why? What for?
Because you can't get married the way you are, even in Las Vegas.
Married.
Married.
You're bluffing.
Test me.
Not like this, the spur of the moment, and not in Vegas.
Name the place and the time. I'm waiting.
I'll have to think about it.
For how long?
Stop pushing.
Stop stalling.
Come in here and you throw all this at me. Who the hell do you think you are?
Look, if you think you're going to get off the hook by starting a fight, forget it. I'm in too good of a mood.
Some life. A piano player's wife.
A glorious mood.
You know what's going to happen to you in New York?
I transcended.
You're not going to make it any better than you did here.
A mood of inexhaustible goodwill and patience.
You stink.
All right, enough lovemaking. Get dressed.
Why can't we go on the way we have been? Why do we have to get married?
I wasn't going to say it, but you forced me. I think I'm pregnant.
That's your problem.
That's a little pity. You might find yourself in a similar predicament someday.
I asked you a straight question. I would like a straight answer. Why not go on as we are? Why get married?
That is a good question, worthy of an honest, courageous, considered reply that I doubt I'm capable of, but I'll try. That rhymes. Get on with it, she says impatiently. Very well, he says, hurling himself from the building. I think we should get married because we feel more, do more, care more for each other than any two people I know. Because it's too damn costly in time, money, and energy to maintain the delusion, the underlying delusion that there are no strings or commitments between us. Because to fully appreciate the joy at hand, one must have the guts to acknowledge it. Because it'll save embarrassment when registering at hotels or staying overnight with friends who have inquisitive children. Finally, granted, yes, marriage is the most faulty, pitiful, wheezing institution, but right now it's the only game in town. And we're going to play it.
That was beautiful.
I thought so.
Like a pitchman selling a cure-all.
No such claim was intended.
Getting married would change nothing.
You're sure?
Positive.
Then why are you so afraid of it?
I'm not.
You're scared to death.
I am not.
Your lips say no, no, but there's panic in your eyes.
Stop.
You're terrified.
Stop.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know.
Say it.
I don't know.
Say it.
If I marry you, then you'll leave me.
Got a hoe. It's got a hay.
Please let me go to bed now.
Why would I be more apt to leave you if we were married?
If I don't go to bed, I'm going to be ill.
No, the witness will answer the question. Why would I be more apt to leave you if we were married?
There'd be nothing to stay for.
So in other words, the only reason I stay now is because I don't have you completely?
Can you guarantee that you'll never leave me?
Well, no more than you can guarantee that you never leave me.
Then why get married?
So that while we're together, we'll really be together.
So that when we break up, it will hurt that much more.
Not when, if. And yes, that's a risk we have to take.
Well, I'm not taking it.
You know, for 2 years, I've been slinking through these corridors as the villain in apartment 2C. Oh, he's the one who lives with the sweet dance who refuses to make an honest woman of her. Do you have any idea how many times our mutual friends have taken me aside to suggest I was doing you wrong? Oh, and how well you played your part, without ever saying a single word, conveying the impression you were my victim. Hopelessly gone on you, standing by bravely, just waiting for me to pop the question. You know how guilty I felt for 2 years? And here we are, the moment of truth. What do we find? Me on bended knee and you with your hands over your ears. You know what the first tip-off on you should have been? All the movie stars you worship, Bogart, Gable, Leslie Howard, they're all dead, all unavailable. You know, with Lockwood, you had me to hide behind. What's your alibi this time? You're going to blow the whole thing for the both of us. You're beginning to worry me. You really are. You know, my grandmother was born with a double call. This endowed her with great psychic power. Yeah, that ability runs in the family. I will now predict what your future will look like if you don't marry me. As I gaze into my crystal ball, I see a lone old woman whose only consolation is the fact that she never gave her heart completely. No husband ever deceived or deserted her. No child ever caused her pain. As she nears the end of her life, she ponders a question. Which is worse, the heart abused or the heart unused? Am I getting to you? Yeah, wait a minute. Is it possible that this is all for the best? Are you actually doing me the biggest favor of my life? Let's examine that. I have $22,000. I'm free as a bird. I know 3 girls I can call in New York just for openers. Wouldn't I be a fool to throw all that away for a prospect that's dubious at best? The answer is yes. Talk about your close calls. Do I perceive the hint of a smile? The trace of a tear? Say it.
I can't.
Say it.
I can't.
If I can, you can't. Come on. Louder.
I love you.
One for the West Coast.
I love you, God damn it.
That's my Smoogie Oogie Boo. How do you feel?
Scared?
Be not to fear. The isle is full of noises. When I count to 3, close your eyes.
What for?
Because we're going to memorize the details of this moment so that when we're old and inclined to rail against the world, we'll remember we had our innings. You ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.